As we look into Exodus 17, it says the wilderness of sin. Now, this has nothing to do with the English term sin. They're not related at all. We can't connect their own personal sin with the wilderness of sin because the wilderness of sin is probably a short form for Sinai. Sinai is spelled Sinai. So that's probably the connection there between the wilderness of sin is probably connected to Sinai, not the English term sin. And so they complained that they don't have any water. So first they complained about no food, now they're complaining about no water. And so they see so many miracles, as we've been talking about. Some of them might not have that same intimacy, but they can visibly see the miracles and the manifestation of God, whether it's the pillar of fire, pillar of cloud, the 10 plagues, the separating of the waters. There are so many miracles that they have seen of God, and yet they're doubting. And as I mentioned, I think this is a test. I think God gives us many tests. Before he can promote us in the spiritual realm, he gives us a test to say, can I trust you with this? How can I trust you with this other thing that you feel led to do if you can't do the small thing that I'm entrusting you with? God's not gonna, if we feel led for this big vision of how God's gonna use us in this way and that way, how can he take us to that big vision if we're not faithful with the little things of today? That's why even in the parable of the talents, they're faithful with 2 talents, you give them 2 more talents. Faithful with 5 talents, you give them 5 more talents. But the one that buried their talent, he didn't trust him with more. So I think God is many times giving us that test of what are we doing today to be faithful with him. If we're faithful with today, then he'll trust us with more tomorrow. But if we're not faithful with today, that's why a lot of us are repeating the same test over and over again because we have not been found faithful with that test he's put in front of us. And so I think we have to keep being reminded of these things that God is giving them a test, just like He's giving us tests personally. But yet, there is hope because Jesus conquered every test that was given to him. Even he was in the wilderness and he defeated Satan by all the tests that Satan gave him and all the other tests and temptations that were given to Jesus. So where the Israelites failed and where we failed, Jesus came through.